This is the new year's best resolutions that you can ever have. All right, I'm gonna take you through 7 money lessons that you're supposed to take with you to 2024. And guess what? By the time the year starts, by the way, in a day's time, I'm making this video on the 31st of December, year 2023, meaning tomorrow, by God's will, we'll be having a new year with us. Now, what exactly are you supposed to graduate with and take with you? Because let me tell you one secret, we learn each and every day, all right? So these are 7 money lessons that you ought to have them, right? It's like a summary of exactly what I've been talking about the entire stretch of the year, all right? So let's get into the business, all right? Now, the point number 1 is to put your money to work. I know I've been talking about this since the year started. Put your money to work. Avoid idle money. I'll repeat, avoid idle money. And what is an idle money? An idle money is a money just placed somewhere, say in a bank account, in your whatever, the mobile banking, whatever the place, the money is just out there. It is not predestined to do anything. It is not committed to doing anything. It is just out there. And guess what? You are likely to misuse that money. Why? Because once you receive a call, say from your family members or whatever the thing, or maybe you get something that you love it, then you're going to go grab that money because it is not committed anywhere and go misuse it. And then there you'll be after a week or two, you'll act surprisingly like, hey, I had some money, I don't even know where my money went or no something. Listen. Put your money on work. 2 things, okay? Now, we always say this. If you have some money in a bank that you're actually accumulating in reaching a certain target for you to invest, well and good. That is not an idle money because it's committed. You're saying, hey, I have an X amount of money. I'm looking forward to reaching this goal. Then after that, I'll do 1, 2, 3. Then that is not idle money because once you deduct even a small percentage out of it, you feel bad. Why will you feel bad? Because actually that will deter you from achieving that specific goal. Then that is not an idle money. Remember one thing, I always tell people, when you're saving money, you are supposed to save under 3 conditions. Number 1, you are saving towards investing. 2, you are saving to purchase a certain big thing. Number 3, you are doing so for the purposes of the emergency fund. So if you're putting money somewhere that does not fall under those 3 categories, don't even save, just eat it. Just eat in the entire stretch of money and just live a free life, because basically that's what you're doing. You're just prolonging the inevitable. All right. So point is this: make sure that you do not have idle money when it comes to the year 2024. And remember one thing, the 2024 we aren't saving, we are investing directly, because there are opportunities that are out there where you can be able to invest. Okay, the point number 1, put your money to work. Let your money work for you. Let your money be making some babies, aka passive income, as you progress to the next level. We do not have any track record of anybody who actually became wealthy by the virtue or by default of them actually just saving out there. All right, so have you agreed on that? Yes, do not put your money into idleness. Number 2, you were never destined to work for someone like the rest of your life. All right, I know you hate your job. Probably you're about to go back to the job if you're a teacher and you feel like, oh damn it, I feel like I don't even go to that job. But anyway, I do not have an option. I have to eat, drink, and do all those kind of things. By the way, scientifically and deep inside ourselves, we have the very less people in our society actually love their jobs. Most people actually hate their jobs. That's for sure. Why? Because, and I want you to get this point very clear, because it's a very important point. Each and every human being, we were born with something, because nobody is useless on earth. Everyone is useful in their own capacity. We were brought here in a different, with different abilities and talents to solve the problem. Can you imagine when you're seated somewhere watching a football, maybe watching Cristiano or Messi or whoever playing out there, you feel entertained. Those guys are talented towards that area. We pay them to watch them. They entertain us as much as they also getting what? They're getting a flower for the sake of their families. All right. Now, you as an individual who is watching this video, you also have something that you were created with. All right. You have something that you have deep inside of you that can actually go ahead and help not only you, but also the community. So therefore, working for somebody is actually going there and working for someone's dream. Excuse me, guys. Working for someone's dream. And in that manner, it means then you're gonna be in a situation whereby you're gonna be making the limited amount just to sustain you, go back, work for them, to sustain you, go back, work for them. That's a reality. I choose to believe, not even I choose to be, that's a for a fact. Nobody was created to work for somebody like the rest of their lives. You're supposed to get something out of that job or work that you have and be able to do what? To grow yourself and move yourself to the next level as you progress. For example, I have seen a lot of dreams getting shattered because of job. You see, job is that thing that they give you. It's like sort of a drug that they give you to forget about your dreams and all those kind of things. You're supposed to be very careful. And I'm not saying it's not a good thing. It's an amazing thing. It's the primary thing that you can never use to get money as far as your life is concerned. But once you get it, look for an opportunity, be able to accumulate, be able to start also your job, also employ others. And I believe that way, if you were to take this responsible at an individual level, then it means we can even go ahead and eradicate or we can minimize, if not eradicating, the unemployment that we usually have in our society. All right? So nobody was ever created to actually work for someone forever. Number 3, never be afraid to take risks. And I know this is where majority of the people fall. You have some money out there, and there is this mentality that people usually work with. So if you want to invest, if you want to start a business, then the most important thing that you're supposed to look for is the capital. And I do not deny it's one of the important things that you're supposed to look for. Have you ever seen somebody with capital somewhere and then they are confused, they don't know what to invest? They are asking for advices all over the place. Hey, what would you do with 100,000? Okay. What would you do with 100,000? What business can I start with 100,000? Okay. What do you think I should do with 100,000? By the way, see, they over-ask, they over-consult to a point whereby they even develop fear. They even don't know, because they are actually meeting different people along the way. Someone who just started the business and got discouraged, and they came up with a very, very, very bitter experience. It's like going to an individual who has ever been in a marriage and then they ended up in a very, 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 very bitter divorce, and then you're asking them for an advice over marriage. They tell you, hey, let me tell you, my dear, don't ever get into that thing. That thing is, you see, it depends on whom you're asking. There's someone whom you'll ask, they are very happy, they are 40 years into the marriage, and then they are seeing you guys struggling, and they're like, what? What's going on out there? I mean, it's like a mystery. You get what I'm saying? So it depends on whom you're asking. So the fact and the point remains to be, oh my goodness, my camera is showing, learn to take risks. Okay, so once you learn to take risks, it means that you're gonna go out there. Obviously, when I say risk, I mean like calculated risk. You don't just wake up in the morning because Joseph said you should take a risk. You wake up in the morning and just take anything and go put it up. Hey, he said we should be risk free. No, I didn't say that. I'm saying you're supposed to have what we call the calculated risk. That's why we usually have a business plan, how we're going to execute the business, how we're going to run it, how either the investment plan and all those kind of things. You have to have them on the table so that at least you can be able to display everything step by step on how you're going to actualize that specific investment or a business. All right? You get what I'm just saying? Make sure that at least you do not get controlled by risk and all those kind of things, especially those guys who are employed. If you're watching me and you're employed, especially if you're a teacher and an engineer, those are the guys whom I usually have a very tough time with talking to them, because let me not get there. The point number 4, you will one day sacrifice. It's either now or later. Let me repeat this point, because this one gonna rub some shoulders with some people. You will one day sacrifice. It's either now or later. There is that part of your life one day you will sacrifice. All right? Just enjoy. All right? Throw parties. Be happy. Do whatever you're gonna do. Life is for the living. You only live once. Have all those kind of mentalities. Squander everything that you're having. Get the things that makes you happy. Go wherever the place that you want to go. But one day, when the reality dawns on you, especially when you become old and the life becomes more responsible to your life. When your fellas now are becoming more responsible, they have families and all those kind of things. That's the time the reality dawns on you and you're like, what? I think I wasted myself. The fact remains, one day you're going to sacrifice. It's either you choose to sacrifice when you're young, when you're energetic, when you can actually choose not to take lunch and nothing will happen. Can you imagine when you were young and energetic? You can decide not even to take a breakfast and lunch and take supper. It's true, you can survive on OMAD, 1 meal per day. Fine. If that's what it means, you succeeding in life, so be it. You see, there is this character of everyone loving to be a beast, loving to be a conqueror and whatever. But when it comes to people taking the actions, they are not there. You see nobody. For example, anyway, I do have a VIP group that I am having, and I've been doing this each and every year. And I usually see this excitement when we come together. I tell them we're going to have a challenge of saving this amount of money. I see a lot of excitement. Hey, we're going to do it. Yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah. After 1 week, you see people exiting. They're just exiting silently. It's like having a journey or you're traveling. And the moment you ignite the car and you start moving, everybody's talking to everyone. You people, you excited. And then it reaches to a point whereby everybody is silent, everybody is sleeping, that's the reality. But those who want to enjoy the journey, they are still awake with their binoculars, enjoying the scenes and enjoying the sceneries. And when you arrive at the destination, you ask them, hey, did you see that? What? Did you? You get what I'm saying? So everyone gets excited about when it comes to taking the action. That's what the problem is. The fact remains, sacrifice when you have the ability. Can you imagine somebody telling you not to take a lunch when you are 50 years old, when you're 60 years old? You'll be shaking. You'll be shaking. But right now, when you're young, this time that you can sacrifice. For those who are smart, they understand what I'm saying. Number 3, or number 5, doesn't matter how much you make, my brothers and sisters. What matters a lot is how much you have the ability to retain. The success of a man is never measured by how high he climbs, but how high he bounces when he hits the bottom. All the credit to the owner of that quote, by the way. That's not my quote. Now, the point is this. What you make does not matter. You can have somebody who is making millions of money, let's say in a month. But the fact remains, the squanders, the rate at which you're making is also kind of almost the rate at which you're squandering that money. Then you're retaining a very small amount of money. I'm going to give you a very simple analogy. Can you imagine somebody making 300K, and they're saving 70K per month? And then we have somebody who is making 80K, and they're saving 40K per month. So which brain would you pick? You get what I'm saying? So how much you actually retain, the ability to retain, to absorb, that what brings a difference between person A and B. And by the way, that is what we call the net worth. Have you ever seen somebody saying, hey, this guy is the wealthiest? Why? Because he makes $10 million in a month. No, we say, hey, guess what? This guy has this and this and that. If you were to take all the debts and all the assets and whatever, and we subtract then how much you're able to retain, how much you're able to say, hey, now this is mine. No matter what, this is what I can retain. Now, that what makes you a net worth person. That makes you a net worth, not how much you retain. And I usually see people bragging on how much they make. It's okay, it's good to make money. I also love to make a lot of it. But the point is this, and how, with respect to that much you make, then how much do you retain? If you have the capacity to retain more, then wonderful, you're on the right track. That was you're supposed to understand whenever it comes to finance. How much you retain, that what matters a lot. Let's go to the second last point. Now, you eat what you kill. What does it mean by you eat what you kill? Learn to be accountable of yourself. Be responsible, because what you eat, what you put down your throat is actually that what you've worked for. And this one actually touches about the issue of playing victim mentality, thinking that you're poor because someone is rich. No. This is not a mutual exclusive. When I say mutual exclusive, just because I go out there and make a lot of money does not excluding you making it. This is a mentality, and this mentality is actually affecting Africans, whereby you say, hey, we are poor because we were colonized. You see, our resources get stolen and all those kind of things. So if we keep on complaining, and if they are stealing, then they are still stealing. You get what I'm saying? And you're like, hey, you see, they are ultra wealthy. That's why they are very rich. That's why we are very poor. Making money is not a mutual exclusive thing. It's not that if I make a lot of it, then it means now it's kind of gonna run out. You get what I'm saying? So it is good to understand that you actually eat what you kill. It makes sure that at least you become responsible of your life. You work by your hands. And by the way, if you guys can take a little bit of time and see how the Chinese works and the Japanese and Koreans, these guys are hard workers. Let me just say the Asians. If you look at the way Indians work, the Bangladeshis, if you look at brothers and sisters, I really wish you can be watching those documentaries instead of those funny things that you usually watch. And these guys, for example, there was a documentary I was watching about South Korea, what it takes to be successful in South Korea. I am telling you, you can't even feel like we are jokers. Yeah. You really need to work hard. And I said one thing, success is surely an intersection between two things, a hard work and a luck. You can't control luck, but you can control hard work. You just work as hard as you can. The luck will meet you on the way. That's a reality. You eat what you kill. That's a fact. Number 4, or number 7 rather, the last one, but not the least, is it's a competition. Whoever told you life is not a competition? Stay on your lane and do whatever. Those are kind of a motivation, just to justify where you are and relax and no. It's a very stiff competition. Nobody will lie about you. It's a very stiff competition, especially if you are a man. Yeah, it's a very stiff competition. You're competing with people who are ultra wealthy, ultra millionaires, and all those kind of things. It's a competition for everybody. Let me just say that for anyone and everyone who is out there. So make sure that at least you stay on the road. But make sure one thing: whenever you actually borrow something when you're competing, compete in an healthy way. Don't just compete anyhow just because you want to compete. Anyway, guys, guess what? That marks the end of my video. But don't forget, you can always pick my number from the description of this specific video. My email is also there. You can pick it up. Talk to me about investments. I offer those services. Obviously, at a cup of coffee price. But don't forget one thing. Hey, If you don't want to miss any of my good videos in the future, make sure that you hit that like and also subscribe to this channel of mine. Let's get into the next level, right? See you in the next one.